Maine's legislature is once again talking budget, but not the supplemental budget that caused so much turmoil over the last few weeks and ultimately failed. Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Hill.
And I'm Brian Yukono. This time, it is the budget for the next 2 years that's on the table. News at Maine's Donovan Lynch at the State House tonight with more. Donovan.
Hey, Brian and Amanda, this is really a story about trust. There are two ways you can pass a budget in Maine. The first is the bipartisan route. You work during the session and then get a 2/3 majority and pass it in June and have it take effect immediately. The other way is you get a simple majority budget passed. You adjourn the legislature temporarily, and the bill goes into effect 90 days later at the start of the next fiscal year. Now, Democrats are going that second route, pushing through a bill to get a simple majority to keep government running. And this follows Republicans withholding support from that smaller supplemental bill last week. Now, this new budget bill that Democrats are pushing through the House includes bare necessities to keep the government running through the next 2 years. It also includes a plug to the Maine care funding gap that was the subject of the supplemental budget. Now, Democrats see this as a bare bones bill that doesn't have any controversial spending on it, but Republicans say that the simple act of trying to push through a bill that could pass as a majority budget cuts them out of budget talks entirely. But budget talks were not all we saw happen at the legislature. During the debate over amendments on this budget package, we saw an attempt by Republicans to try to undo the censure of Republican State Representative Laurel Libby. You may remember Representative Libby was censured over a social media post that she made using the name and photo of a transgender athlete to try to prove a point or argue a position against Maine's policy of allowing transgender athletes to play in women's and girls' sports. And a really impassioned debate broke out on the floor. Take a listen.
Let us ask ourselves, was it decent to coordinate an online attack of a child, an attack that has not ceased, and to maintain that attack?
We're only talking about one biological male, from what I understand, who was hurt by this, but none of the biological females who, once again, I know and I care for.
Now, the effort to undo that censure was ultimately unsuccessful. Representative Libby still is barred from voting on the House floor. And I do want to bring back the question of the budget and tell you, or show you rather, what Democrats and Republicans were saying about these budget talks that were going on really throughout the entire day in the House. Take a listen.
It's critical for us to have trust, but you can't have trust when you feel like you've been abused. You all along have been talking about a 2/3 budget. And then at the last minute, you pull a rug out.
I'm frustrated that it doesn't have broader support. I don't think there's anything controversial. I don't think there's anything in this budget bill that anybody should disagree with. I think it's very basic. It does some really, really important things for Maine communities.
And right now the bell is ringing as the Senate gets back into session. The bill, that budget bill, will go to the Senate for further votes. Could be a very long night here in Augusta. I'll send it back to you, Brian and Amanda.
Our Donovan Lynch making sense of a lot happening in Augusta right now. Donovan, our thanks to you.